Well, tomorrow we'll get some Mother Nature watering, Kristi.
We sure will. And really, we turn our attention to how are we doing in terms of the reservoirs right now when we're looking at water restrictions. While it's always important to monitor your water usage at all times anyways, but currently, according to Metro Vancouver, our reservoirs are at 100%. We're in good standing. But then we also need to look at the snowfat pack, because it's that snow that melts through the summer months that allow us to continue with fresh water into the latter part of summer and early fall. And currently, across the province, we generally have about 80% snowpack. We would like that to increase, but we're not done with snowfall just yet. Obviously, it depends on the exact elevation, but generally for the mountains, we still have another month or potentially a little bit more of snowfall to occur. So we really could get to that 100% or above. So we're good standing heading into the summer months, but of course it always depends on weather. As you well know, yes, rainfall on the way, and it does mean more snow for the mountains. It is going to be wet and windy across the south coast tomorrow. We will continue with some rainfall in the morning on Friday, but by Friday afternoon, Good Friday, we're hoping for some breaks of blue sky. In the meantime, wet across coastal regions tomorrow, and we'll see increasing cloud for those of you in the interior. Should be dry for the interior. It's not until Friday that you'll start to see showers push in. For our region, wet and windy conditions, windiest near the Strait of Georgia. We'll see an easterly wind with gusts up to about 50 kilometers an hour for Metro Vancouver. So 10 degrees as our high. As I mentioned, some breaks of blue sky by late Friday, but overall, Sophie, we're certainly in for a wet weather pattern. As I mentioned, Easter egg hunts are likely going to be needed to be inside.
All right, thanks, Kristi. Those reservoir levels, let's bring in our meteorologist, Kristi Gordon. We're going to add to those levels tomorrow, it looks like, Kristi.
Yes, more rainfall on the way, and we'll certainly show you that. But first, Metro Vancouver, currently the reservoir is at 100%. We're in good standing heading into the summer months, but we then have to look at the snowpack, because it's the snowpack and the melt that adds to the reservoir as we continue into the late summer and sort of early fall months. And currently our snowpack generally across the province is at about 80%, which is pretty good considering the time of year that we're at. This is a look at one across the south coast. This is our current year here. This green is actually last year, and it shows that we're in fairly good standing, and we still do have about a month or maybe even more of snowpack to occur. So still more snow on the way, which could put us into that better range of 100% or maybe above. And even looking at the mountains in through the interior, again, this is just a snapshot looking at the Mission Creek area. This is where we are currently, and we still have another month or so of added snowpack to occur, hopefully, if that is the case. So we're in good standing, which is great news, but always be really careful when you're using water, because yes, you just never know. Our weather patterns are becoming much more variable. Tomorrow, though, as Sophie mentioned, rainfall, and it means snow for the mountains. We're going to see wet and windy conditions across the south coast. Rain still in the morning on Friday, Good Friday, and then by the afternoon hours, I am hoping for some breaks of blue sky across the south coast. Now, those of you in the interior, dry tomorrow, but increasing cloud. Majority of your showers will push in throughout the day on Friday. Here's a look at how much rainfall. West coast of Vancouver Island certainly hit hardest. For Metro Vancouver, 10 to 20 millimeters, and this is throughout your Thursday, along with windy conditions. No wind warnings, though, in effect. So drying through the interior. The bulk of the rainfall will be along coastal regions. 12 degrees in Kelowna, and for our region, highs of about 9 to 10 degrees. Victoria, a little warmer at 11 degrees. So certainly a wet one tomorrow, but it looks like we could come out of it with some breaks of blue sky for our Friday afternoon. Good at Friday afternoon. But as we mentioned, we're into a very wet weather pattern. So even as we head throughout our weekend, we have more rainfall on the way. Easter Sunday certainly looking wet at this point. Still a couple days away, so keep tuning back in throughout your long weekend and we'll refine that. But definitely make sure you have some ideas for indoor Easter egg hunts. And Badger sending us this one. This is this morning in Vancouver. The streets lined in beautiful cherry or plum blossoms. Of course, headed towards the Sikh temple, as you can see there. Thanks to Anne for that one.
I tried to match my tie to that photo, not even knowing Anne sent it in.
You did well.
It's not bad, right?
It does look blossomish.
Yeah, blossomy.
All right.